So this is an interesting patch, and we're going to talk about it because why wouldn't we? Yeah. So they released version 1.0.5. I'm a little okay. So I'm a little upset that it took so long to beat the game. That they've actually changed some stuff that's going to affect our playthrough. So let's talk about it really quick here. Stickers of Aincrad update file version 1.0.5 distribution announcement. So an update file version 1.0 was released on August 7th to adjust game balance and address identity issues or identified issues. We apologize for inconvenience, but they may apply latest update, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. So version after applying this update. Version number can be checked, blah, blah. Yep, okay, cool. This is for our PS5, Xbox Series XS, and Steam. Purpose of balance adjustments. Thank you for playing Echoes of Aincrad. We as the development team deeply appreciate and are filled with joy as we watch various strategies, enthusiastic adventures produced by each of our users from the title release onward. We will provide balance adjustments in this update with the purpose of drawing out an appeal of various types of weapons so that both new players and those who have already completed the game can enjoy fresh experiences. In addition, we are planning to add a new difficulty level a new difficulty which is beyond very hard within 2026. What a choice. So there's going to be a new difficulty level past very hard. That'll be interesting. Please note that balance adjustments are also planned to be implemented when a new difficulty level is added. Weird that they say that when a new difficulty level is added, not the difficulty level is added, but this is probably just a translation situation, so I'm not going to read too much into that. The gameplay experience will significantly change not only the death game mode, but by changing the difficulty settings. Please try varying gameplay and enjoy journeys through Aincrad with your unique playstyle. We hope to deliver deeper and more exciting exploration experiences to all of you. So, feature additions. Added an on-off feature for the severe killing animation. This is nice. I'm glad to see that. Changed so that slow motion / camera effects can be on or off when defeating enemies with a disconnected attack by selecting the gameplay set. Okay, so yeah, they basically give you the ability to turn off the that one animation that plays every single time like you're running heavy an enemy or whatever. That's pretty dope. And then balance adjustments. Adjusted difficulty levels. Adjusted the enemy strength and the number of enemies appearing for the story to hard difficulty levels. Which had an extremely lower difficulty than the very hard level, so players can enjoy more challenging and engaging combat. So they made story and hard difficulty levels a bit harder. Apparently, I didn't know this because I've been playing literally on very hard since we started the game, but apparently story and hard didn't have as many enemies that were jumping you all the time. So good to know. I guess that makes a pretty big difference. I know I've had people say that they're playing hard mode on what's it called, death game mode. I always wondered, like, how do you even manage that, you know? Like, how are you managing it and, you know, dealing with death game mode and getting jumped all the time? Apparently they weren't being, so that's something. From his enhanced enemy HP and attack power for normal and hard. They're basically making normal and hard harder. So that's what it sounds like. Adjustment of the number of enemies appearing. Increase the number of enemies appearing for the story, normal, and hard difficulties. So yeah, again, they're just making the story to hard difficulties harder. Some enemies' multi-hit settings are relaxed. Relaxed attack damage amounts from some enemies when using sword skill super armor. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Because the amount of times I've been multi-hit in the middle of a sword skill and getting blasted is so annoying. Okay, so increase the number of healing potions provided as starting equipment for the main quest summons, and newly granted a bomb stone. Healing potion provided as starting equipment for the main quest summons. Okay, I'm not sure. I don't think this is gonna be like your down button heal crystal. I think it's just like regular healing potions. Enhance some quests. Bosses HP and attack power. Partners, so individual partners got some changes too. Jesus. Argo, reduce the support SP and increase the additional damage correlation value. This as the high buff effectiveness of the support skill analyzed had narrowed partner choice. Reduce the support SP and increase the additional damage correction value. Okay, so I don't know if this is me just being bad at reading or what this is supposed to be exactly, but like this sounds like we reduced the cost for using her skill and increased how much damage it gives you as the high effect had narrowed the partner choices. Yeah, that just sounds like. Oh no, no, okay, I'm reading this wrong. Reduce the S support SP increased and the additional damage correction value. So they reduced how much support SP that you get from her buff and how much damage that she gives with Analyze. Yeah, Argo was really, really strong. I used her for literally a day and I was like, how do you use anyone but Argo? Like, she's insanely powerful. Adjustment for the SP gauge recovery weight per weapon. Adjusted the SP gain of the SP amount per weapon when normal attacks and heavy attacks hit enemies. Adjusted the gain SP amount appropriately for each weapon with high speed motions and high hit counts. And increased the SP gain for weapons with slow speed, motion, and low hit counts. So they try to balance out how much SP you were getting with Argo and things like that. So, because yeah, you were getting support SP like crazy fast. Like I said, I'm glad I tried her yesterday and we tried messing with things yesterday because I wouldn't have been able to tell anything different now. So we'll have to see when we get in game. Upward adjustments. So two-handed swords, two-handed axes, downward adjustments, swords, rapiers, daggers, and maces, individual weapon adjustments. Swords, a unique mod for the dress sword, barrier, reduced the granted barrier value and extended the cooldown. They nerfed the dress sword. The funny thing is like, I've seen a lot of builds talking about the dress sword. Dude, I don't even think the dress sword is that strong. And the reason we'll talk about it more, and I'm gonna make a video about it separately, is like it's just the barrier that it gives. People are like, oh, it gives you a barrier, and then when you have a barrier up, you do more damage with your sword skills. No, no, you don't. It gives you a barrier when you use a sword skill. That barrier is up for a specific period of time, and then it's gone, and then you can't get the barrier back for a while. Now the cooldown's gonna be even longer. But your damage increase happens anyway, whether you have a barrier or not. So it's not really based on the barrier itself. It's just in general. It's just one of those weapons that gives you increased attack to or increased damage to your sword skills based on your attack. So that's what makes it actually pretty powerful. Though there are other weapons that do that, this is just the defensive choice of that. So people are really like heavy pushing for the dress sword when the reality is there are stronger setups and stronger builds where you aren't required to use something like the dress sword. But because of the, what's really funny is because of the insane amount of used dress sword forehead I've seen, people are just, I guess they've like, yeah, the barrier's too strong, right? But no, there are other choices. I've tested other weapons and there's some pretty good ones actually. Dagger's unique mod for the Mournflower Supreme Shooter. Reduce the additional damage multiplier and cooldown for throwing sword skills. Really? So Mournflower Dagger was actually pretty good. I didn't get a chance to try it out. Unfortunate. But it reduces the damage multiplier and the cooldown. And cooldown for throwing skills. Okay. Sword skill adjustments. Improved general gameplay performance and implemented downward adjustments for some sword skills. Oh no. Upward adjustment. Well, some sword skills. Okay, so never mind. I forget sword skills are everything, not just swords. Horizontal square. Enhance the sword skill speed, the sword skill's motion speed, and shorten the duration from the move start up to its completion. So they made horizontal square faster. Cool. Dagger's upward adjustment. Single shoot enhance the sword skill's motion speed and shorten the duration from the startups. They made it faster. Enhance the sword skill. Okay, so they made this faster as well. Rapid bite, enhance sword skill, motion speed, and short duration from the move startup. They made this faster as well. Bad edge was made faster. Spiral and riser was made faster, I believe, too. Okay, downward adjustments. Strike rain, reduce the damage and attack correction value and increase the cooldown and SP cost. And Hornet Swarm, reduce the damage and attack correction value. Oof. Bummer. So yeah, they changed a lot with daggers. I didn't get a chance to try out Hornet Swarm, but to be honest, I was just using a lot of light attack with that build setup. Two-handed axes got a buff for Roaring Jolt. SP costs at low sword level. Reduce SP costs at low sword levels. Enhance the sword skill motion speed and shorten the duration for the move start up to its completion. So they not only made it less SP, but they also made it faster. Whirlwind, reduce SP costs at low sword levels. Low sword skill levels. So enhance the sword skill's motion speed and shorten the duration. So they made it faster as well. A lot of these, they didn't really adjust the damage all the way. They just increased their speed. So reduce SP cost and increase speed. Reduce SP cost, increase speed. Reduce SP cost, reduce SP cost. increase speed, reduce SP cost for Volcano, reduce SP cost for Rock Fang, and increase the speed. And Gravity, implemented upward adjustments. Okay, so this one they actually increased its attack damage. Maces, Riot Smash, reduced, so enhanced the sword skill, motion speed, and shortened duration. So increased speed, Double Cleave, increased speed. Trihorn Melody, it looks like increased speed. Spirit Fall, increased speed. Clash Bang, increased speed. Absorbing Strike, implemented downward adjustments for attack correction values. So they reduced this damage on Absorbing Strike. Might have been the only thing people were using. Two-handed swords. So two-handed swords. What was two-handed swords' big thing? All right, so two-handed swords. Cascade, reduce SP cost, and increase speed. Piercing Blast, SP cost down, increase speed. Backlash, SP cost down, increase speed. Blade Torrent, SP cost down, increase speed. Brave Leap, SP cost down, increase speed. Cyclone, implement upward adjustments to damage. Vertical Buster, reduce charge, yeah, so increase speed. And then fix the confirmed issues. Fix an issue where after unlocking the boss area barrier on the summons quest, gameplay rarely progresses while the blackout persists following enemies appearing effect. So yeah, getting jumped while you're in your load screen. Fix an issue where the players rarely became invincible during quests. Didn't really come across that too often, but okay. At least not that I noticed. Fix an issue where in some quest players could enter the boss areas without accessing the magical seeds before encountering Fix the Boss. So yeah, kept you from jumping into the boss fight early. Fix an issue where the orange hit effect persisted when defeating close range enemies with dagger sword skill, single shot, and strike range. Fix an issue where the number of items decreased in the inventory during quests when activating the bonus mod carried +1 with int +30 effect of the armor of wisdom and tops. Hold on. Fix an issue where the number of items decreased in the inventory during quests when activating the bonus mod items carried +1 with int at 30 through the effect of the unique mod armor of wisdom of tops of sorcerer or the soul force robe. So instead of getting +1, you got -1. Okay. Fix an issue where an undefeatable enemy could be defeated, and it caused gameplay progression to stop when using the unique mod Soul Bite of the sword of the Soul Bite of the sword Death Salvation. You could use Death Salvation to kill enemies you aren't supposed to kill. That's pretty funny. I actually have that weapon built up. Future plans. The entire development team will continue to provide balance adjustments. The timing of DLC and other distributions. At the time of DLC and other distributions, the more users can enjoy gameplay experiences. As mentioned earlier, we're planning to add a new difficulty level, which is beyond the very hard difficulty. So very hard within 2026. Please wait for the updates. Thank you for your support. So, I mean, they are doing some balance changes, which is nice to see. It looks like they're hitting very specific things. And I see there's like balance adjustments across the board for a lot of different weapons, increasing speed of some of the weapons, making them a little bit faster. We'll have to see how that actually plays out when we get in the game. Really funny to see they're nerfing the shield on Dress Sword. That's kind of the big thing for Dress Sword was its shield. People were just kind of like running into shit, but I also think it's very silly because at least on the difficulty that I play on, using the shield for Dress Sword heavily would still just get you kind of mowed down in situations where you didn't have that shield. You would just absolutely get obliterated anyway. So I did see a couple of builds where some people, there's like a chest piece that gives you an increased shield size. They were using that plus the Dress Sword to get a mini massive shield, but the problem with that is that the Dress Sword shield has a timer. And though that timer is pretty relaxed, it's not going to be up for you all the time. And I don't know, I still feel like it's just, it still doesn't affect my gameplay enough to keep me really concerned about keeping that shield up consistently. At least in my testing of other weapons and trying other things out and having, you know, a proper defensive chest piece on, like that one that reduces your damage taken by 80% on a chance that's higher when you're below 50% HP. That one has probably helped me more than anything else. There's just certain times I just don't take damage at all, which is really, really nice. And it just generally lowers my amount of damage taken throughout an entire fight. So throughout an entire quest. If it's like a 50% uptime, it's like 40% DR overall, plus this, you know, the upwards of 20% that I have from my weapon as it is. So it's actually really, really nice to have. The Mornflower situation I didn't really get a chance to check out, so it is what it is. It probably was pretty good, but it is one of those things we can't deal with. And nerfing Argo is really funny because, like I said, I tried out Argo's support skill analyze literally yesterday, and it was insane how much I was like, you just don't use anyone else but Argo. And to be perfectly honest, I don't know that you still won't, because Argo's skill analyze gives you just extra damage on top of your hits. It's like an extra multiplier, it's an extra damage hit. And it applies to everything, not just normal attacks, but normal attacks, extra attacks, and extra attacks are just jumping attacks, running attacks. And I think, yeah, it's jumping and running attacks mostly. And then, and sword skills. So everything you do has extra damage on top of it. It's what makes that red rarity dagger so incredibly powerful for dagger builds, since it is like extra damage on top of what you're already doing. But it's going to depend on exactly how this whole process works out and how this plays. I'm not 100% sure, but I am very interested to see what we could come up with at endgame, because I mentioned this beforehand on Twitter, but like, dude, the builds for Echoes of Aincrad that I've seen are so one-dimensional, really bad, and don't actually give you all of the information. Like, they just assume people are absolute dog shit at everything, and it's really, really bad. So I do plan to make a build for at least one-handed sword and for dagger. I'm not sure about anything else. Those are the two that I know very, very well, but we'll cover those after we complete the game and max our character and things like that. That's it. If you guys are watching on YouTube, appreciate you. But we're gonna get back to playing Echoes of Aincrad. So take care, guys.